Well, I think about this a lot. So I had a professor, I was at Columbia's graduate school of journalism. I had Roger Rosenblatt, one of the great American essayists and writers, public radio, public broadcasting personality. And Roger was a great writing teacher, was a great writing professor. And he had a series of his own rules that he gave to writers in his class, not all of which I remember. But the one that really stuck out to me was look away from the ball. So, everybody, the crowd will always look in one place. Everybody will always go where the action is. There's always something interesting happening on the periphery. And the classic journalism case of this is, I think it was Jimmy Breslin, who's sent to cover the assassination of John Kennedy and the ensuing ceremonies, and finds the gravedigger who's digging the grave for Kennedy, and does this, beautiful story about the gravedigger. It's just a classic case of looking away from the ball. But I think it's as true in life as it is in writing, and I think that's why it stuck with me so much and why I think about it, because there is this mass thinking all the time. Everybody always goes to the same place. Everybody looks at the main action. It happens in journalism, it happens in Hollywood, it happens in business. Everybody wants to look at, the thing of the moment. And I think the real visionaries, the people who achieve unusual things, look away from the action and think, what's happening over there coming next? What aren't we noticing? And so I think as a general rule in life, if you, as a way of not following wherever the crowd or the conventional wisdom is, I think looking away from the ball is pretty good advice. There's just too much of that, and I thought that as a columnist, I certainly try, I really, as soon as there's a giant event that everybody's writing about, I've always tended to shy away from that. Sometimes I'm asked or I have an idea and I'll dive into it. Sometimes I'm happy I did. But my first instinct is always to move away and look somewhere else. Because if everybody's looking in one place, they're missing something important. And you can carve out a real niche for yourself, a place for yourself, looking in a different direction.